and welcome to Get Ready with me, Louise. It's a little bit later in the day, but I'm still getting ready. It's been a heck of a morning, you all. First, I wake up and it's cold and it's snowing. But they didn't cancel school, which I find odd because anytime there's a drop of snow, it's canceled immediately. But then, as the day proceeds, they decide to, call school off. Then my child misses bus. I have to go get him. But then he finds a way home. I don't know. It was just me rushing around. And you know me, I go with once when I done, when I not done all the time. But luckily I didn't have to leave the house, at least. That's a plus, I suppose. But it's still snowing and I was like, I'm just gonna just chill today. Cause like I threw on pajama pants, like I'm wearing my strawberry shortcake. I did throw on a red sweater so I kind of match, just in case I did have to go get my kid from school. And I got my bedroom slippers on now because I'm not going anywhere. But if I did, I could just throw on a pair of tennis shoes and I look halfway put together. You know what I mean? But like I've just enjoyed just like lounging today, to be fair. And then I looked over and I was like, I have some makeup I want to play with because I haven't really played with any um the newer stuff that I got. I mean, I've used it once or twice, but I like to play. And then I was like, well, I might as well film because my next day off ain't for a couple of days, so here we are. Oh, and in between all that, I had a hot chocolate. Like I was so proud of myself. Make me a nice hot chocolate, and it just felt warm. And now I'm cold, but I don't want to make another hot chocolate. But I did think about stopping or going out and getting a coffee, maybe. I don't know. I don't like driving in the snow though. Not the best driver, but I'm cautious enough. You know what I mean? It's other drivers that I'm concerned with driving when weather's bad. But anyway, let's get to what's on my face. So for foundation, I am wearing the Infallible Pro Glow. Y'all, I mean, it's almost empty. So that's almost used up. And I'm wondering, is that still available? Cause like we don't have that at the Ulta I work at. I hope that's still available because I really, really like that foundation. It's a good match too for my skin tone, but I don't know if that's still available or not. Interesting. For concealer, I'm wearing the Item Beauty. It's getting there. It's almost done. It's not my favorite, but it was worth trying. You know what I mean? I set my under eyes and T-zone with the Rimmel Stay Matte, and then I used cream bronzer, which I have been really liking. So I know you all saw me. What is that thing called? It's the Tarte. What is this? The Eye and Cheek palette, the Maracuja Eye and Cheek palette. This one here. And I've hit pan on the bronzer, and I said the only problem with this is that when you run out of the blush and the bronzer, you'll have these eyeshadows forever and a day. But like, what are you gonna do? I'm not gonna pull for this palette. I like the fact that it's all in one, and you can't buy this separate. And then I remembered I have this little guy here, this Seychelles cream bronzer, and that's what I'm wearing today. And I think I like this bronzer more than I do the one in that palette, to be fair. So I mean, obviously there's no way of putting that in there, and this is just the mini, but I wonder if there is a way. But that's something for me to figure out later. But I really do love that palette, and I love that bronzer. Then I was going to wear the Merit blush in Cheeky because I've really been liking this, and they've got, is it 3 of them on sale at Sephora you can get, and I thought about getting that just to try out more shades, but I like this formula, so I feel like I would like any of the shades if they're calling to me as far as color wise. So I may just buy like another shade instead of the 3 one, just like pick one and get the full size, because I believe this is like a sample in a way. I got free as a perk through ordering something from Sephora, is that what I'm thinking. But I decided to use this because I got this in a gratis. It is the Ilia, and it's in the multi-stick in Ladybird. And I like it, but I don't love it like I do the Merit. And I don't know why. It's it's blendable and you can swipe it right on the face, but it takes, I feel like it takes longer to build than the Merit. But yet the Merit is very thin. I almost have to put this on the back of my hand, let it warm up, and then use a brush, right? Because swiping it on, it doesn't pick up my foundation, but it's not laying down on my foundation either. And I didn't set anything like on the outside, on my face. But I will say that when I did like rub it on my hand and then pick it up on the brush, I liked it a lot better. And I do like the color. So I'm not mad at this, obviously, because I got it free and gratis. But I don't know if I want to pick up another shade like I do with the Merit. You know what I mean? So we shall see. And then for highlighter, I picked up the Natasha Denona highlighter. The one in the hockey puck. The Hygiene one in O2 mediums, the one I'm wearing today. Only because I think it went, like, I prefer the O1, not the O2, personally. The one that's just light. But I did this one because it looks and feels a little warmer. And with the palette we're about to use, I felt it went better. And then for lips, I lined my lips with the Sugar and Spice LA Girl Perfect Perfection Lip Liner. I've really been liking this for an everyday type of lip line. Like, it goes with a lot of different shades depending on what you want to do. If you want to make it more pinky, more peachy, you know what I mean? Like, or if it's pinky, it'll keep it pinky. If it's a peachy color but you want to go more pinky, then you would use this type of thing because it is more pink. But I don't really wear that much peach, but by putting that on my lips and then putting the peach on top, it works. I didn't do that today though. I then just topped it with the Maracuja Juicy Lip Plump in Primrose. Called it a day. But the eyeshadow palette today that we're going to be playing with is, and I know it's not as nosy as it used to be, but it's the Embers. And I know they already have another one out that's like this, and I really do like this size. I don't know if I'm going to get it. I don't think it's come to Ulta in store yet. If it does, high probability I will. If it doesn't, might not get it. We shall see though. But let's get started because I do think this is a cute little palette. Now, everybody says it's like the ABH and the Mario one. I don't know. I don't have that palette. That was before I got back into makeup. So I really can't tell you if it does look a lot like it just by looking at pictures. Or inspired, let's say that. As far as formula and stuff like that, I don't know. And as far as actual shade colors, I don't know. But what I do know is that I kind of like this palette. Is it revolutionary? Is the shadow something you have never seen before? No. Is it easy to work with? Yes. Will it create pretty looks? Yes. Are they softer looks? Yes. But my thing with that is that I like that because if you want to oomph it up, you can easily use a Super Shock shadow over top or a Urban Decay Moon Dust shadow over top. Like, there's things you can do over top of it if you wanted to. But as far as like your like a core basic that gives you a little bit of something, this does give you a little bit. I mean, you can go more green, you can go a little more blue, you can go warmer, you can go cooler. Like, you got options in this little guy, and I like that. And ABH shadows are just easy to use. So, I mean, I'm going to go into the first shade, and I will also let you know there is some kick up in pan. But I feel like that's kind of ABH anyway. Like, that's how their shadows are. Which, again, don't mind. I think that they're beautiful shadows. They work beautifully on the eye and easy to use and all that. But yeah, it's snowing here and it's cold, and I really don't think I am going to get out. I might. But I'm kind of leaning towards staying in, and I really need to redo my nails and stuff. Like, just enjoy my day off inside. You know what I mean? Stay warm, stay cozy, watch some YouTube type of thing. That's the plan. Now, whether I get to, do that or not all day, I don't know. But that's what I'm hoping for. I guess I could pull the sticker off of that. As I always keep my palettes. I just never pull the stickers off because I never really use the mirrors because I'm always using like the one that's got the magnification to it. I will say my under eyes are looking a little old today, dry. I don't know if I put too much powder or if it's the concealer, what it is, but I will say that they are looking a little bit drier today. And they're creasing too. I don't know what that's all about. Oh, and in the waterline, I'm actually wearing the Natasha Denona eyeliner in that taupe shade. And I kind of like that taupe shade. It's different, like, as much, because, like, sometimes brown's a little bit too dark for a look. Sometimes it's not. Sometimes it's just right for, for me. But the taupe is like an in-between the cream and brown. You know what I mean? It's like the perfect in-between if you don't want to go too dark. Just like if you don't want to go too dark, brown's a perfect middle ground, I will say that I'm so glad Black Friday's over. I made it through it. And Cyber Monday's over. I made it through that one. We're coming into the home stretch. Now we'll have like the last minute Christmas shoppers. But I find that this is where people get really agitated. You know what I mean? And don't get me wrong, I get it. You're out, you're last minute, and we ain't got nothing. But at the same time, it's like, what do you expect, Like, I don't mean to be mean, and I don't say that, but I'm sitting there thinking, you're being mean to me because we don't have something that we've had for 4 weeks prior to this, but for whatever or why ever you've waited to the last minute. And don't get me wrong, I've been one of those people to wait to the last minute. I am one of those people, but I don't get mad. You know what I mean? Like, I'm like, oh, I get it. Half the time it's because I'm waiting on money, I gotta do a little bit at each payday. But we're in the home stretch, so I feel like we're almost there. And then it's gift card season, where everybody uses up their gift cards and then returns. We're going to go into the darker shade right here now and darken up that outer corner. I have a friend visiting right there. He's kind of going away though. I think that I may have used too much concealer, and that's why it's looking a little bit heavy under the eyes, because I also feel like I used too much of the foundation because it kind of squirted out and I just used it not thinking, because it's kind of settling into my lines, like my smile lines and stuff, and my forehead wrinkles. And generally, when I'm really applying that foundation, it doesn't do that. I'm using my magnifying mirror now. And I will say that with this palette, this is kind of going to be your basic setup. By doing it this way, it looks a little more cooler because of the first transition shade I used. But I feel like if I went in with the oranger shade and then this shade, it would look a little warmer. So that's why I'm saying I think you can get cool tone looks and warm tone looks in this palette. Or mix it. You do you. And that shade can be built up and, darkened and stuff. So that's a good thing. It's a good thing with ABH shadows. You can build on top of them. And they blend like butter. No real work is needed. Now, don't get me wrong, I have a rougher brushes I'm using, so that does say a lot, but and I'm not experienced, makeup artist or even applying makeup. I'm just sitting here playing, but I think that the shadows turn out really good. And to be fair, my favorite palette is the Sultry palette from, well, one of my favorite palettes is the Sultry palette from ABH. So we're going to take that darker shade I just used. We're definitely going to have to get that magnifying mirror. And I'm going to put it along the lower lash line. With my rougher brush. Oh no, my belly's growling. I hope you guys can't hear that. You know what? It may be the skincare I used underneath all this makeup too, because it is kind of peeling. And I used a, like in my hairline, I can see it. I used a new moisturizer today. I don't know what it was. I'm sorry. It was just a sample packet, but I just grabbed it to try it. And I didn't like it when I was putting it on. And I thought something like this might happen. I didn't know if it would or wouldn't. But I didn't like it putting it on, so I didn't even save the packet, to be fair. I probably should have, so I don't forget what it was that I used, so I don't buy it thinking I want to buy that. We're going to go into this shade right here and put it on the lid. And a little bit does go a long way, I find, with these metallic shades. Look at that, though. It is pretty. Like, I didn't even use that much. Is it soft and subtle? Yes. But the light still bounces off of it beautifully. I don't know. I understand where this palette's not revolutionary. I do get it. But at the same time, I'm like, this is so pretty, though. You know what I mean? It's such a pretty look. Alright, we're going to go into this one now, and I'm going to put it in the inner corner. So I can see where some people are just not impressed, I guess, with the palette. But I can also see where you might be impressed with the palette. Because it is just easy. Sometimes that's what we want. It's just easy, you know? Easy, effortless, but yet timeless and beautiful look. If that makes sense. Okay. And then let's go back into that first shade and that first brush. So is it cold where you all are at? Did you get snow? Did you get a hot chocolate? We're going to take that dark shade and line the top lash line. I couldn't resist. I didn't think it was going to stick. Like when my fiance came up and said it's snowing because they didn't cancel school this morning, I just thought, oh, it's just flurrying. It'll be nothing. And then I got the call, or no, I took my coffee cup downstairs, put it in the sink later on, and I seen it sticking in the yard, and I was like, oh, okay. And it was a little chilly downstairs, so I was like, I think I'm gonna make a cup of hot cocoa. And then as soon as I did that, my phone rang about the school's dismissing early. So I'm sure they won't have school tomorrow. I'm sorry if you can hear her. She's in her room yelling at her friends through her phone. Hopefully it doesn't pick it up, but you never know. Alright. And then for mascara, I pulled an oldie but a goodie, but I was going to buy another one, and Sephora doesn't carry this anymore. It's the Valentino mascara, and this used to be like, until Lash Clash. Well, I'd say this is even with Lash Clash. My favorite, like, top lash mascara. I love it for volume. Like, it's just so good. And I was going to buy a new tube of it because this one is at its, it's done. And I got on Sephora to see, how much it was and stuff like that. And it's not sold on Sephora anymore. Yet that is where I purchased my first 2 tubes of it. So I don't know if they're doing away with Valentino Beauty at Sephora, or if it's just this mascara is like not being made anymore. I hope not, because I really like it. But I'll have to look more into it. But I mean, they still have Lash Clash, so I'm alright. Generally, whenever I fall in love with something, they discontinue it, and then I can't find anything to replace it with, But I do love me this mascara. It just makes my lashes look so black and so thick and long, even. Not as much length as the Gucci mascara or separation like the Gucci, but definitely pretty. And then for the lower lashes, we're going to use the MAC mascara. There we go. Like, it's just so pretty. Easy to use. But if you can't get it, I adore Lash Clash. Like, it's with a YSL. You can get black or brown. Doesn't matter which one. They're both great. Love them. And then for the lower lashes, the MAC Extended Play Giga Black Lash. Really taking it back old school. Oh, I was keeping the mascara really close to the lash line on this side, and I forgot, and I've taken it out a little bit too much on this side, but I'll try to make it even. There we go. Perfect. They look even. Because my lower lashes are really, really long for some reason. I think it's the lash serum. It kind of, obviously, it goes down there too. I don't put it down there, but it just, like, when I'm sleeping, I guess it transfers down. Um, but I've noticed my lower lashes are so much longer than they've ever been when I'm trying to grow my top lashes, but them puppies just don't want to grow. I mean, they're better than they were, so I am happy there. Because, I mean, my lashes were very non existent and sparse until I started using that. But my lower lashes, I'm just like, what are we doing now? Why are you guys so much longer, than even my top? And it looks weird to me when I coat my lower lashes sometimes because they're so long. It just looks, I don't know. It could be a me thing, you know what I mean? But to me, it looks odd to have really long lower lashes, especially when your top ones are so very short, or not as long, so to say. Not well, they're not so very short. Like, they're not really short, but they're not that long either. They're just there, which I'm fine with. But yeah, this is the look using the ABH Embers palette. I mean, is it a necessity? Are you missing this out of if you don't get it in your collection? No. I don't think you would blink twice or even maybe not even remember the palette, to be honest. But I don't think you would regret it if you were to purchase it. You know what I mean? Like, if you have the money and you're looking and you're like, oh, it's pretty, you won't regret it. It won't be like one of these things where I'm taking it back. It was the worst thing ever. Waste of my money. No. I do think also it'd be a good maybe stocking stuffer or a good what is it? Secret Santa gift exchange thing. Something like that. Like, just something little. You know what I mean? I think it'd be a good little gift to give to somebody or even to get yourself. But I don't think it's a run out and get it. It's limited edition. You're never going to see it. No. No. You can linger on it and you can think about it and you'll be fine either way. That's the way I feel about it. I don't regret it. I'm glad I got it. I'm glad to see that it performs well, and I probably will reach for it from time to time. But I don't think that, like, if I lost it, I'd go. Well, I know if I lost it, I wouldn't go rebuy it, type of thing. You know what I mean? Would I get rid of it? No. So that's kind of where I'm standing with it. Because not everything is going to be run, don't walk, go get it. It's just not like that. And unfortunately, it that's just not one of those either. You know what I mean? Like, it's unfortunate that it's not a wow, blow your socks off, but at the same time, it is fortunate that it is at least one of those ones where if you got it, you would use it. You know what I mean? Just a thought, though. But yeah, so I think that wraps up all the newer palettes I got, right? Because I done the Makeup by Mario, the ABH now, the Grinch, the Morphe. Now, the Morphe Naughty Palette, that is one I would say go get. Because I believe that is limited edition, but only because of the price point. It is a very, very good palette. And I love that palette, to be fair. And because of its price point, I would say yes, absolutely. Go grab it. But if it was like $65, I'd be like, it's a run of the mill. You know what I mean? You've got that in your collection already, I guarantee it. So there is that. But yeah, so I think that that concludes all of, well, I guess the two Tarte palettes that came in that collection that you could either gift as one, gift as two, or break completely apart. It came with two palettes, two lips, and two mascaras. That one, I still haven't done anything with it. I might. I mean, I've given my opinion on it. I think it's a nice, cute little idea. And the eyeshadow palettes are nice, so. And if you like those mascaras, go for it. If you like the lip products, go for it. But I haven't did a video with those two eyeshadow palettes. But other than that, everything else is done now. Yep. But yeah, let me know your thoughts on these newer palettes. Is there any newer ones getting ready to launch that you're interested in? I've seen Busy Art release two, and I'm like, ooh, I think I might need to get that. Those look good. But that's all I have for you today. I hope you enjoyed this video. I hope it entertained in some way. If it did, give it a thumbs up, subscribe, ring the bell, hit all that where you're notified when I upload. I upload when I upload. I wish I could be on a schedule, but it's just not going to happen. I've come to terms with it. It's just not going to happen. And I will see you in my next one. Until then, stay safe and stay healthy and stay warm. Bye.